I am sharing 100 of the absolute best must-try home hacks, cleaning tips, and organization ideas. These ingenious solutions are simple, affordable, and will make your life so much easier. Did you know that shaving cream is fabulous for cleaning? Just this regular old everyday shaving cream. Mine is not scented, it's white and it's foaming, so that's the one that I suggest that you get. We are going to use this shaving cream to clean my stainless steel refrigerator. Now, my refrigerator is a very popular spot here in our house. That refrigerator gets a lot of love. There are fingerprints, there are smudges, and there's some residue from dirty little sticky hands. And so we're gonna clean that off. So what I'm going to do is spray this shaving cream all over the surface of the refrigerator. I made sure that the entire front of the fridge was covered in the shaving cream, and then I let it sit for about 5 minutes. And then I came back with a damp rag and wiped all of the shaving cream off. Now, I honestly did not have high hopes for this. I didn't know how well it was gonna work, but look at how sparkling clean this refrigerator is. It's shiny, reflective, and all of that residue was completely gone. In the past, some of my stainless steel cleansers has left a little bit of a residue. Well, the shaving cream got rid of all of that residue. The surface of the fridge and the freezer was clean and free of smudges and fingerprints. If you run out of stainless steel appliance cleaner, or you just want a solution that works just as well or even better in my opinion, then get some of this $1.99 shaving cream and give it a try. It works wonders. Next up, we are gonna get down and dirty in the bathroom, and we are going to clean our toilet. All right, so what we're gonna need for this little cleaning hack is a sponge. I purchased a 4-pack of these sponges at Target, and then you're also going to need a fork. We're gonna need a flimsy fork. I know each one of you have one somewhere in your silverware caddy, that one fork that gets bent. Well, that's the one that we need. So get that fork out. Now I've got both of these items, and what I'm going to do is take that flimsy fork and I'm going to bend it even more. That way it has a pretty good arch. Then I'm going to insert the tines of the fork into the sponge. We have created a cleaning contraption that can get underneath the rim of the toilet, because getting underneath that little ledge can be really tricky. So this little cleaning solution is going to work fabulously. That sponge fit perfectly under the rim, and it got all of the nasty that is really hard to clean. So if you have a sponge and a busted up bendy fork, then you can make this cool little cleaning contraption that will help to keep your toilet sparkly clean. Cleaning windows can be a tedious chore, especially when you're trying to clean the tippity top of your windows. I'm going to grab my hose and attach the hose nozzle to the end. Then I'm going to get a bottle of dish soap. I twisted the nozzle to the jet spray, and then I took my dish soap and drizzled the soap on top of the water as it was spraying out of the hose. You can see all of the foaming bubbles all over the windows. This is an easy way to clean your windows efficiently, especially the top part of the window. You don't want to have to get a ladder out and climb up there and clean. Well, check out how easy it is to clean the top of the windows using this hack. Cleaning these large windows only took me a couple of minutes, and look at how sparkly and clean they are. If you wanted to, you could get a microfiber cloth and wipe it down. That way you didn't have any streaks. I'm just gonna let mine air dry, and look at how fantastic it looks. The difference between what they looked like before and now is astonishing. I will be cleaning my windows this way from now on. After I was done cleaning my windows, I looked around my patio and I thought, what else can I clean using this hack? And I saw all my patio furniture. And if you leave your furniture outside too long, it gets dirty, and sometimes it gets those little spider webs all over it. So we're gonna use this hack on my furniture. I did the exact same steps. I simply drizzled the soap over the top of the water, The water catches the dish soap and sprays it all over my outdoor patio furniture. With no scrubbing, this chair is super clean. This hack would work on your outdoor rugs, your outdoor tables, concrete or tile. This cleaning solution is a piece of cake and simple enough anyone can do it. Next, we are going to completely transform our regular old baking sheet into a muffin or cupcake transportation solution. You know, when you have cupcakes or muffins that you need to transport from one area to another, a lot of times from one venue to another, well, you want to make sure that those muffins or cupcakes get there unscathed. So what we're going to do is create a grid over the top of our baking sheet. We're going to do that with some blue painter's tape. I added 4 lines of tape vertically across the top of the baking sheet. Now all I need to do is grab my muffins and place them in each of the squares. Now I only made a dozen muffins, but this can actually fit 15, so you can put a whole lot of baked goods in this baking sheet grid. And now that everything's in place, I'm going to shake it around for you so you can see that those muffins will not go anywhere. You can put them inside of your car and feel secure knowing that you're not going to end up with baked goods all over the floor on the way to your party. The art of tying a tie is not as easy as you would think. I've had to learn over the years because I have twin boys, so tying a tie is a necessity. So let me show you how I learned how to do it. It will give you the perfect knot every single time. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your tie, put it on your arm like this, so the tip is like right in the crook. Then you're gonna take this tail and wrap it around your arm 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm gonna take my hand, place it behind the first loop, grab that second loop, and pull it up. Now I have created a tie, you guys. Is that awesome? It's adjustable, so you can just like pop it over their heads and then adjust it to the size that you need so you have the perfect knot on a tie. This is a hack that I use all the time. My boys do know how to tie their ties now, but this was really helpful when they were younger. This is such a great hack, and you have the perfect tie. Because the holidays are coming up, I need to do a little furniture rearranging so I can make room for my trees. But as I do that, as I move that furniture out of the way, there are some little indents in my rugs and my carpet where the heavy furniture has been. So I'm going to show you how to lift those indents that are in your rugs and your carpet. What you're gonna need is a rag. I have just a white clean rag. You don't want a colored rag. Get a clean white rag and an iron. We are gonna take this iron and we are going to set it to the synthetic setting. You don't want it hot. The last thing you wanna do is melt your carpet or your rug, so we're gonna keep it on a low heat. I'm going to get my rag damp. So moisten it a little bit with water. You don't want it dripping wet, just damp. Place the rag over the carpet indent, and then once your iron is heated to the low heat setting, gently press it on top of the damp rag, covering the carpet indent. Be careful not to touch the iron directly onto the carpet. I held the iron in place for a few seconds, not too long because you don't want to damage the carpet fibers, but you want to leave it there long enough to allow the steam from the damp rag to help loosen the carpet fibers. Then you can lift the iron and the rag, check the carpet indent. If it's not completely gone, you can repeat the process until the fibers start to bounce back. And then after your carpet or rug fibers are sticking up again, you can rub it really good with your hand and it will just fluff right back up. You can't even see where these indents were originally that were underneath my coffee table. The rug looks flat. It looks brand new. Now I can start decorating for Christmas and not worry about those indents in the carpet. Here is another way that you can use the $1.99 shaving cream to help clean. At the bottom of my stairs, the very first step is always the dirtiest. Mine is carpet. I know many people out there have hardwood or some kind of solid surface on their stairs, but we have not done that. Ours is still carpet and it is a very high trafficked area. So it is dirty, and it's right here in the foyer. So what we're going to do is take this shaving cream and we're going to squirt it all over this bottom step of our stairway. I apply the shaving cream directly onto the stained areas of the carpet. Then using a clean white cloth or sponge, gently rub the shaving cream into the stained area in a circular motion, and then allow it to sit for a few minutes to penetrate the stain. After the shaving cream had been sitting for a few minutes, I got my clean rag and I began to wipe up all the excess shaving cream. The rag was wet, so it was easy to remove the remaining shaving cream and the residue. I let this dry for a couple of hours and then I got my vacuum out and I vacuumed over the top. This will help to fluff up the carpet fibers once again and make it look brand new. But look at how clean this carpet looks, you guys. I cannot believe the transformation. Look at the difference between the dirty carpet before and now. I am amazed at the difference. Does this ever happen to you? You're packing for a trip. It's early in the morning and everyone's toothbrushes are still wet, but you've got to pack them anyway. Well, what you're going to want to do is get a plastic glove, put each one of those toothbrushes inside the finger slot. Just slide them in there. This will keep each toothbrush separated, and because the gloves are plastic, the damp toothbrush won't get water all over your bag. Once each toothbrush is situated, you can roll up that plastic glove and pop it into your suitcase, your purse, your bag, your backpack, any place you want to store them. This hack will work not only for traveling, but if you want to brush your teeth at work, school, or anywhere else. This next hack is for all of you fashionistas out there. It's one of my all-time favorites. I'm going to show you how to update a pair of shoes, take them from regular to extraordinary. What I did was I purchased a set of 3 shoe clips from Amazon. They were only $13.99. There was a circular clip, a rectangular clip, and a sparkly floral clip. I rounded up 3 pairs of dress shoes and I added the clips to the front of these shoes. All you need to do is open up the clip, place it on the front of the shoe, and snap it closed. I placed all of these clips on 3 pairs of shoes. It was so easy to do, but look at the transformation these fancy clips make. They look like brand new shoes. You can dress them up for a special occasion, and wow, what a fun statement they would make. I mean, look at how cute these shoes are. They were cute to begin with, but now they are just so much more glamorous. These clips are a great way to glam up a pair of shoes you already have. Not only can you use these clips for shoes, but you can grab one and just pop it on the front of a purse. You can put it on a hat or a scarf. These little clips are a fun way to give a stylish twist to items you already have. Speaking of a stylish twist, I have a fun way to display your dish towels in your kitchen. What you're going to need is 2 dish towels. They need to be similar in size. Take the first, lay it out, grab the edge and fold it to the center. Then grab the opposite side and fold that to the center as well, and then make one more fold together. Take the second towel, fold the first edge to the center, and then take the opposite side and fold it all the way over. Then fold it in half. Now grab that first towel and place it over the center of the second towel. Then squeeze it together so it looks like a bow. You can hang this bow towel on your dishwasher handle, on your oven handle, or like me, you can slide it through a pull on your drawer. What I did was I took the tails of the towel and I threaded it through my pull, and now I have an adorable way to display my towels. This is so cute. What a fun thing to do for a party. You could even get some seasonal towels, some Christmas towels, some Valentine's towels, summer towels, and make themed bows to coordinate with the season or a color scheme that you want. If you have teeny tiny stud earrings and you're always worried about misplacing them or having them get lost, especially when you're traveling, this next hack is for you. What you're going to want to do is get some buttons. These large buttons obviously have holes in them, and what you're going to want to do is remove the back of your small earrings and thread them through the holes on the buttons. Then you can replace the backs on these earrings. It's so helpful to have these earrings stored on a very locatable button. Now that they're on the button, you can pop them back into your jewelry bag or in a purse or somewhere in your suitcase, and you know that they will not get lost or misplaced. Another item that you can add to these buttons so they don't get lost is a tie tack. I did the exact same thing with my tie tacks. I removed the back from the tack, pressed it through the button, and then replaced the backing. Now they're easy to locate and you won't misplace these either. Have you ever noticed that when you pull the lint filter out of your dryer, there's still lint down inside? Well, I'm going to show you a hack that's going to help you to get out all of that excess lint. Grab a paint stirring stick, and in my case, I'm also going to get a mismatched sock. You can also use a cloth, but we have a big family and we always have mismatched socks. So I'm going to use a singular sock that does not have a partner. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this sock and place the stirring stick inside. What you're going to want to do is make sure that you remove the lint filter first, then take your stirring stick and stick it down inside. I rubbed the sock up against the grid on the inside and the lint stuck to the sock. Then I can simply pull that excess lint right out. Because the stirring stick is thin, it fits inside the gap. I did this a few times and was amazed at the amount of lint I pulled out of the dryer. If you want an easy way to remove that excess lint, this is a great hack for you. My twin boys are frequently growing out of their clothes, and so every couple of months we go through their drawers and their closets and we pull out clothes that are too small and then we donate them. Well, they have some church shirts that have seen a better day. They are really dirty and they've got these rings around the neck that just, you guys, I could not in good conscience donate these shirts. Even washing them, I just couldn't do it. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to get rid of this ring around the neck. What you're going to need is some lemon juice. I got one lemon, I cut it in half, and then got out my juicer and extracted as much juice as I could out of these lemons. We're going to need to dilute the lemon juice, so I got a cup of water. What you're going to need is 50% juice and 50% water. So now I've got my liquid, I can just pour it over the collar of the shirt. You're going to want to saturate it really well. Then I got a scrub brush and I scrubbed the collar and the lemon juice mixture together. Once the collar had been saturated in the lemon juice, I let it sit for about 30 minutes. Then I simply tossed it in the washing machine on a regular cycle and dried it. This shirt looks so much better now. It's not bleached white, but that stain looks so much lighter. There is a big difference between the before and after. Lemon juice is effective at cleaning stains on clothes because it is acidic and it has natural bleaching properties. The acid breaks down and loosens stain on the clothes, and the lemon juice acts as a natural bleach because it contains citric acid. So if you're looking for an all-natural way to remove stains from your clothes, give a lemon a try. I have a whole bunch of scissors and the blades are starting to get dull. So I'm going to sharpen those blades right up with some aluminum foil. What I did was I took a large square of aluminum foil and I folded it into fourths. I took my first pair of dull scissors and I began to make cuts all along the side of the aluminum foil. By doing this, it will sharpen those scissor blades. Next, I moved on to my smaller scissors and I did the exact same thing. I simply made cuts all along the side of the aluminum foil. Then I grabbed my heavy-duty scissors that I used to cut the floral stems and I cut the other side of the aluminum foil, which sharpened these scissors right up. It's hard to gauge whether or not these scissors are sharper than they were before. So what I did was I got some copy paper and I simply just cut this copy paper. And let me tell you, these blades are much, much sharper. They work so much better now. So if you need to sharpen a pair of scissors, grab some aluminum foil, snip that aluminum foil to sharpen those blades. Did you know that you can extend the life of your batteries by simply putting them in the freezer? So what I did was I got a baggie and a whole bunch of batteries. I placed them inside this Ziploc bag and then placed it inside of my freezer. Did you also know that batteries have an expiration date printed on them? So all you need to do is look really hard. It's really small, fine print, but you can find the expiration date for your batteries. So now you know which batteries to use first. Did you also know that you can reseal your battery package? What you need to do is take the top of the battery package, fold it down, then slide the backing, you know the backing where you open up the batteries, slide that through the opening at the top of the package. This will prevent my batteries from spilling out and getting mixed in with the other sized batteries. Next, we are going to create a disposable dust pan. So if you either don't have one or you're in an area where you cannot find one, this is going to be fantastic for you. Now what I have is a whole bunch of leftover pie pans. And what I'm going to do is get my heavy duty scissors and I'm going to cut this in half. And now that my scissors are sharp, it easily cut through this pie tin. Now I have 2 dust pans. Let me show you how great these work. All I did was I swept a pile up in my kitchen and then I swept that pile right into my makeshift dust pan. It works so well because the metal is very thin, which also means that it's very sharp, so you're going to want to be careful when you're using these. But the nice part is once you're done using this dust pan, you can just throw it away with whatever you've swept up. So if you need a disposable dust pan, this hack will work for you. Oftentimes when I'm cooking ground meat, that grease will splatter and pop up and burn my hands and my arms, and it does not feel good. So here's a hack to shield your hands and your arms when you're cooking on your stovetop. What you're gonna need is a water bottle. Cut the bottom off of the water bottle. Next, grab a fork with a thinner stem and poke it through the opening of the water bottle. You can slide your hand through the opposite end of the water bottle to protect it. So the next time you are cooking something that has grease on it, use this hack. It will protect your hand. It will shield it from all of that grease that pops all over the place. This is an easy hack and it works fantastically. Does water ever seep through your fabric gloves and get your hands all wet while you're outside in the rain or the snow? Well, here's a hack that will prevent that. We are going to double up on gloves. The first glove that we're going to be putting on is a plastic glove. I slid my hand through this plastic glove, and once it was on, I could put my fabric glove over the top. Now, if the fabric gloves get wet, your hands will stay dry thanks to the plastic glove that we put on first. Sometimes those jar lids can be so stubborn and I struggle to open them, so here's a hack to help you do that. What I do is I take a rubber band and I put it around the top of the jar lid. The rubber band will help you grip the lid so that you can easily remove the lid from the jar. Here is another easy way to open a jar. Did you know that on the jar lids there's like this little arrow? And what you do is you can take a can opener and there's a little bump right here, this little metal part on the can opener. Take this part, run it along the inside of the jar lid. Once it hits that arrow, pull the can opener towards you and the lid will pop. Then you can simply twist that lid right off. If you're looking for an easy project to do with those little ones in your life, I have a creation for you. What you're gonna need is a canvas, a balloon, and some craft paint. Now, whatever paint you decide to use, just make sure it's washable because I can guarantee you it's gonna get everywhere. What you're gonna wanna do is take that paint and squeeze a dab of the craft paint onto the canvas itself. My daughter chose several different paint colors, and I alternated the paint colors in the center of each one of the other to create a bullseye. Next, I had my sweet little girl plop that balloon right into the paint. You put it over the paint and you press down and then pull that balloon right up. Because my canvas is a little smaller, I did not blow that balloon up very large. I left it kind of small. That way we could get several circles on my canvas. Now, after the first plop of the balloon, I wiped off that excess paint. Now, you don't have to do this. You can leave that excess paint on there and just kind of dab it all over your canvas. But she wanted to make several different colored bullseyes as we created our beautiful artwork. So we just continued to add the paint to the canvas and press our balloon into the paint. This is a very creative and fun project that you can do with your younger kiddos. My daughter had the best time doing this project and she was very proud of the finished artwork, and so was I. Do you have candles that are either halfway melted down your container or like all the way at the bottom, and you're having a hard time lighting it because your match won't reach all the way down there without burning your hand? Well, I have a solution for you. What you need is some spaghetti. Yeah, we're gonna light the tip of this spaghetti on fire. Light the spaghetti with your match and the pasta will start on fire. Now you can reach those hard to reach wicks at the bottom. You can reach them comfortably now without burning your hand. This is so convenient for those hard to reach wicks. It's gonna save you from burning your hands. I love using parchment paper when I bake, but sometimes the struggle is real with the parchment paper. In the past, I've shown you how to cut the corners and place it inside of a baking sheet, but I recently found a better way to get your parchment paper to lay flat in your pan. So what we're gonna do is take a piece of this parchment paper, get it to the size we want, rip it. Okay, we are going to submerge this parchment paper in some water. Just gonna crumple it up and put it in the water. We're gonna make sure it's nice and wet. And now we're gonna bring it up, squeeze it. We wanna get rid of as much moisture as we possibly can from this parchment paper because we don't want the excess water to affect the way that our baked goods turn out. So squeeze all that water out of this parchment paper. Now we can unravel it and place it inside of our baking dish. Look at that, you guys. Look how easily that went in. And now we don't have to fight with the parchment paper anymore. It fits the shape of whatever pan you're using. So get your parchment paper moist, stick it inside of your pan, and it will form to the shape that you need. We love playing games at our house. There's nothing better than an afternoon spent sitting around the table, playing games, eating fun food, and laughing. Well, because we like to snack while we play games, sometimes our cards get a little sticky. So let me show you an easy way to clean your playing cards. What we're going to use is, of all things, flour. So I got a brown paper bag, put the playing cards in the paper bag or a plastic zip top bag, add a small amount of the flour. I did about 2 tablespoons. Add that to the bag with the playing cards. Seal the bag and shake it gently to ensure that the flour coats the cards evenly. So you're gonna wanna shake it a bunch. I shook it for maybe 45 seconds to a minute because you want that flour to get in between all of our playing cards. So now that the flour has coated our cards sufficiently, you can take the cards out of the bag and wipe them off with a cloth or soft brush to remove the excess flour. This should help reduce stickiness and make the cards easier to shuffle. I am certainly no card shark, but even I could tell that when I went to shuffle these cards that it was so much easier now that they had been dusted and wiped clean with the flour. So if you need to clean your playing cards, flour works beautifully. If you have a necklace that you don't use very often, you can actually turn that into a bracelet. So what we're going to do is gather up a necklace, any shape or size you want. Make sure that the necklace is clasped. Wrap it around your wrist. Take one side of the necklace and thread it through the other side. Open the clasp up, wrap it around your wrist, and then attach the clasp or closure again. Now that it's on, you can adjust it to where you want it to be. I liked the layered look, and I actually chose one that had a heart in the center, so I wanted the heart to remain in the center, so I just adjusted it to where I wanted that to be. Now you have this brand new bracelet that you created out of a necklace that you didn't use very often. I don't know about you, but I am always losing the lids to my mason jars. They're like socks. They just disappear and you never know where they go. Well, if yours disappear like mine do and you still need a lid for your mason jar, let me show you what you can use as a substitute. If you have some Parmesan cheese and you're finished with it, save that lid. What I'm gonna do is take the lid off of my Parmesan container and then twist it onto your mason jar. I actually prefer these Parmesan lids to the actual mason jar lids itself because the Parmesan lids are so much more versatile. You can open them and close them. What I'm gonna do is fill up my jar with some rice, but you could use oats or cereal or anything you wanted to put into a mason jar. And now I can pop that lid open and pour my rice into a measuring cup, and then close the lid back up, and now I know that the food item inside is sealed inside. If you don't have a lid like this, you can also use a peanut butter lid. I'm gonna take the lid off of an empty peanut butter container and put it on my smaller mason jar. It twists right on, and now I have this sealed container. My daughter likes to make overnight oats, so it's easy for her now to use this lid to seal up those oats, put them in the fridge. She doesn't have to use all of the oats now. She can just put that lid back on and place it back in the fridge. Before you throw containers out that have lids on them, take the lids off and test them out as lids for a mason jar. I think you'll be surprised and amazed at how many lids actually fit on these mason jars and how well it works. This next hack is actually a family favorite, and we have been using it for years. You know when your dishwasher is done with the cycle and you open up the door lid and the steam comes out and you look at your plastic bowls and plates and there's condensation all over it. There's just water droplets all over these plastic dishes. Well, what I do is I get a clean kitchen towel and I drape it over the lid of the dishwasher and then close it back up. I'll leave it there for about 30 minutes, come back, open the dishwasher back up, and voila, all of those droplets from those plastic dishes have absorbed into the towel. It's like magic. I don't know how it works, but I do this literally every single time I run a cycle through the dishwasher. So if you have extra condensation or extra water droplets on your plastic dishes, give this hack a try. I think you will be amazed at the results. Speaking of dishes, sometimes I get rust stains on my knives. They're just little teeny dots on the knives, and even though they're clean, they look dirty. We're going to remove those rust spots. We're going to do that with some white distilled vinegar, just plain vinegar. I'm going to add vinegar to a cup and then take my knives and place it into the vinegar. You want to make sure that the blade is completely submerged in the vinegar, then leave them soaking in the vinegar for 20 minutes. After the 20 minutes is up, you can remove your knives and get a sponge and wipe these rust stains off. They come right off. You don't need to scrub very hard at all, you just need to wipe them clean. Once all my knives had been wiped off, I rinsed them off in the sink, And now look at the difference, you guys. They look brand new. They're sparkling clean, shiny, no more rusty spots or hard water stains. These knives are as good as new. Our next hack is going to help us to keep our wrapping paper in control. What we need is an empty paper towel center, just this cardboard center. What we're going to do is grab our scissors and we are going to cut down the center of our cardboard paper towel center. So now we can open it up. Now we can put our wrapping paper inside, close it up, and now look at this. Oh, how nice. And we can set it down and it's not gonna roll anywhere. We can hold it and continue to pull it out. And this paper towel holder will hold our wrapping paper in place. So if you have an empty cardboard paper towel center, or even the cardboard center of toilet paper would work really good for a smaller roll of wrapping paper. Either one of those items would work. We can place this over the top, and now it's not going to come unraveled when we're storing it because we don't use Christmas paper all year long. So we've got to store this somewhere. This method helps keep your wrapping paper neat and organized, preventing it from getting damaged or wasted. Do you remember those blueberry muffins that we made earlier? Well, I'm going to show you how to get a perfect muffin or cupcake every single time without burning the bottom. What we're going to do is add a little bit of rice to the bottom of these muffin tins. Placing dried rice in the empty muffin cup helps distribute heat evenly during baking. This can prevent the muffins from getting overly browned on the bottom or unevenly cooked. This rice can also provide support at the bottom if you're working with a light batter that may spread out too much without support. And while the rice itself won't absorb the moisture from the muffins, it will absorb the moisture that might collect in the empty spaces, which can help prevent the bottoms of the muffins from becoming soggy. Nobody wants a soggy muffin. So this rice, as you can see, worked wonders on these muffins. The bottoms of all of these are nicely browned. By adding a little bit of rice to the bottom of your muffin cup before baking makes a world of difference. Another hack that I use to make sure that each one of my muffins or cupcakes are the exact same size is that I use an ice cream scoop. This helps me to scoop up the same amount of batter and then pop it into my cupcake liners. Using an ice cream scoop is also very beneficial because the batter goes right inside of the cupcake liner. It's also easy to regulate the amount so you know that you're going to have enough batter to end up with the right number of cupcakes or muffins. We are going to create some air fresheners out of some felt pads. Now these are the little pads you put at the bottom of your chairs so they don't scrape the floor. Well, they have a package of 60 of these at the Dollar Tree for $1.25, and they come in a variety of different sizes. We've got the smaller ones, the medium size, and these larger ones. So what I'm going to do is get some essential oils and some perfume. You can choose any scent you like. I put some essential oils on my smaller felt pads and added perfume to the larger felt pads. Make sure you saturate these pads well so that the scent will last for a long time. Now that my scent is on the pads, all I need to do is just remove the plastic covering over the back that's protecting the sticky part. And then I'm going to put my first one on the garbage can in my kitchen. We want the garbage area to smell nice and fresh, especially in the kitchen. In the bathroom, I opened one of the drawers and I stuck one of these felt pads right inside the drawer. And then this buffet right here is where I store all of my tablecloths, my cloth napkins, and my placemats. So I'm going to open this drawer right here and to put one of these scented felt pads right on the inside. Now my linens are going to smell amazing. And if you're using essential oils, this is an all-natural way to get an air freshener, and you can put it in so many areas in your home. You could put it inside of a laundry basket. You could put it on the side of the toilet, in a sock drawer. These felt pads are an amazing way to keep your space smelling fresh. Have you ever been to a fancy hotel and they have their toilet paper wrapped up so pretty? Well, that is what we are going to do today. We are going to turn our regular toilet paper into some decorative pieces that we can put in our bathroom. So what I'm going to do is get some napkins. I have these gorgeous damask napkins. They are just so pretty. And what I'm going to do is open them up. I need to get 2 of them. So I've got 2, and I'm going to layer them on top of each other. And you're going to want to make sure that the decorative side is facing down. So we've got those. I'm going to set them right on top of each other. I'm going to take my toilet paper, I'm going to place it right on the end, and then I'm just going to roll it right up. Make sure you grab that second napkin and keep rolling, and then it will look like this. Now what you're going to do next is just tuck in the napkin right into the holes at the bottom and the top. Just tuck that right in there. And look at how pretty this is. I'm going to do one more example because we need 2 rolls of toilet paper. So again, I'm going to take my 2 napkins, unfold them, place them so the decorative side is facing down. I'm going to grab my toilet paper roll, place it right in the center, and just start rolling. I'm going to roll that napkin right around our toilet paper, grab that second part of the napkin, make it stick together. The nice part is that when you have it to this stage, what makes it stay in place is by tucking it in. You tuck in the top and the bottom right into the cardboard center of the toilet paper, and it will just hold that napkin in place. Now that I have both of my toilet paper rolls wrapped in our napkin, we're going to display it in an apothecary jar. I have this apothecary jar that is the perfect size to fit 2 of my rolls of toilet paper. I'm just going to pop those right in and then set the lid right over the top. Look at how pretty this is, you guys. This is such a fun decorative accessory to add to a bathroom. Now, of course, you could put these in a basket, or you could just stack them on top of the back of the toilet. There's a bunch of different ways that you could display these decorative toilet paper rolls. I'm going to place it on the countertop in my bathroom. This is a unique and fun way to display our boring toiletries. The decorative napkins make a big difference in this space. It definitely adds a touch of class. We are a smoothie family. I love making healthy smoothies for my family. It's a good way to get extra fruit into the kiddos. So what I did was I made a smoothie with mangoes and strawberries and banana and some extra protein yogurt. I blended that all up, and then I poured my smoothie into some cute ice cream sundae glasses and added some festive straws. It's the weekend, so everybody is out in the pool. They're all playing Marco Polo, so I took the smoothies out to them. This is a great summer snack so that they can keep up their stamina and keep playing Marco Polo. Now it's time for the cleanup. Now, I don't like getting in there and trying to clean the little blades down there because I don't think it's all that safe. So here's what I do to clean my blender. I fill it up about halfway with hot water, and then I add a couple of drops of dish soap, and then I turn the blender on. The water and the soap will not only clean the blender and the blades, but it gets up into the lid as well. I let this blend for about a minute and then dump out the soapy water. I rinse it out, and now I have a perfectly clean container. I'm always trying to find a way to clean those hard water stains on my glass shower door and surround. Well, did you know that lemons will clean those hard water stains? So what I did was I took a lemon and I cut it in half. I simply rubbed it all over the glass shower door and surround. I kept squeezing that lemon and the juice would come out, and I would rub it all over the door. You can see immediately the water stains disappear. I scrubbed it for about 5 minutes, and then I got a bucket of water and rinsed off all the lemon juice and little bits of lemon. I cannot believe how clean this shower door and surround is now. You guys, we only used lemons to clean this. I didn't scrub. I didn't get any other harsh chemicals out. This is an all natural way to clean those hard water stains off of your glass. The citric acid in the lemon will dissolve the mineral deposits in the hard water stains. If you're looking for an all-natural cleaning solution that works wonders, lemons will do the trick. Now, it's not 100% perfect, but it's about 80% better than what we started with. Plus, my bathroom smells amazing. Now, my Dollar Tree has started selling some $3 and $5 items, and I found these plastic containers there the other day. They're clear containers, they're a great size, and they come with a lid, which is a bonus. Now, what I'm going to do is use these clear containers to store my pillowcases and my sheets. I don't know about you, but when I have guests come over, I'm going through my linen closet. I'm trying to find the queen size sheets and the pillowcases that match, and sometimes it's overwhelming. So we are going to organize these items today. These containers have some stickers on the front, and I need to peel those off. Sometimes when you're peeling off stickers, they will not come all the way off. Some of it will continue to stick to whatever it is you're trying to peel off. So what I've done in the past is gotten out my hair dryer. So that's what I did. I got out my hair dryer and I turned it on to the highest heat setting. Heating up the sticker will help it come off cleanly because heat can soften the adhesive that holds the sticker in place. When you apply heat to the sticker, the adhesive becomes more pliable and less sticky, making it easier to peel off without leaving residue or tearing the sticker. Look at how clean these stickers came off. These containers look awesome. All right, so now that we have the stickers off, we're going to create some labels so that we know which linen is in which container. So what I did was I created some wording on my Cricut design space. I had my Cricut maker cut out the words, king, queen, and pillowcases on some removable black vinyl. I weeded away the excess vinyl from around the wording. I put the transfer tape over the top, and then I pressed my wording to my storage container. Once I was finished putting the king label on, I moved on to the queen. I did the exact same steps. I pressed that vinyl right to the container, and then I did the same thing with my pillowcase wording. This is an easy process, and it's definitely going to help me keep the right size linens in the correct container. If you do not have a vinyl cutter, do not worry. You can just get some regular old labels and write on those and then put those on these containers, and that will work wonderfully too. Now that all of our labels are on there appropriately, we can put our queen size sheets in one, our king size sheets in the other, and then I've got pillowcases over here. So not only do I have sleeping pillowcases, but I actually have the decorative pillowcases that I use for my decorative pillows. So I've got all those in there, and you guys, look at how cute these pillowcases are. My mother makes pillowcases for my kids for every season and holiday. So we've got some Halloween ones. We've got some cute little girl ones. We even have some back to school pillowcases, and I just love these. So it's fun to be able to have them where I can easily access them. So now that I have all of my pillowcases and sheets in the correct area, I can just pop the lid back on. And because these containers have a little closer, it holds that lid in place. So I'm just gonna snap these right back on. Now you could get some larger containers if you had more sheets that you wanted to store. You could get multiples of these. The best part is that these were $3, you guys. That is so affordable. But look at how great these are for storage and organization. Now I can easily find the sheets that I need, the pillowcases I need, pull them out, use them, and then put them back. One of my favorite cleaning solutions is Fabuloso, and you can buy it at the Dollar Tree. This is actually a large bottle. It has 30% more than average. The Dollar Tree is a great place to buy your cleaning supplies. They have the Fabuloso, and then they also have that liquid Ajax. One thing that I love about these bottles is that they have interchangeable lids. So I took my Fabuloso and I removed the lid, and then I had an empty bottle of Ajax dish soap, and I removed this squeeze bottle lid from that. And I simply just swapped the cap for the squeeze bottle lid. I definitely prefer this squeeze bottle lid to a cap because now when I'm cleaning out my sink, I can squeeze that cleaning solution around the sink. I can get the correct amount that I want, and I don't worry about it spilling everywhere. Another interchangeable lid that you can use is a spray bottle lid. So once you're done with your window cleaning solution, rinse that out with some water and then pop that right on top of your bottle of Fabuloso or Ajax or whatever it is that you have. The spray nozzle can help me clean my flooring. If I want to clean a small area, the spray nozzle will distribute the correct amount of Fabuloso I want so I can clean a couple of tiles. All of these toppers will work with the liquid Ajax as well. I often find myself cleaning out window sills, and then I have a glass slider, so I'm cleaning out those tracks as well. So I'm going to show you a couple of different ways that you can do this easily. Now, first up, we want to vacuum out those tracks. And if you do not have a nozzle on your vacuum, do you know that you can make one with a paper towel center? This is just the cardboard center of your paper towel. What I'm going to do is take the hose on my vacuum, grab the cardboard paper towel center, and wiggle it right inside. I'm going to show you that it actually does have suction. So you can see I'm testing it out, and it sucked up that piece of paper towel really easily. So then I took my vacuum and our makeshift nozzle over to the sliding door tracks and vacuumed up all of the dust and dirt. You can see it even sucked up a little stick. So it really did do a fantastic job for being made out of cardboard. And if you want a shorter one, you could use the center of a toilet paper roll. That would definitely work too. All right, so now that everything is vacuumed out, we are going to clean it. And what I'm going to do is get a paint stirring stick. Now, this paint stirring stick has been used. Don't worry, it's dry. We can use it now. So I've got my used paint stirring stick, and then I'm going to get a damp washcloth. I'm going to wrap that washcloth around my paint stirring stick. If you don't have a paint stirring stick, you can, of course, use a knife or a spoon. So now I'm going to take my paint stirring stick and cloth over to my tracks. And before I get cleaning, I'm going to grab some of my Fabuloso. I could squeeze the proper amount right inside of those grooves. Next, I took the rag and stick and began to scrub the tracks. The rag and the paint stirring stick fit perfectly between the grooves. I was able to clean out the dirt and grime in these grooves easily. And of course, this hack would work on your windowsill as well. When I have parties, I like to set up a folding table either right here in the formal living room or in the foyer because I like to display photos or a flower arrangement, just something to greet my guests. Well, this folding table is too small for a traditional tablecloth, and I don't want to go out and buy another one. So what I do is I just take a tablecloth that I already have, and you can see that it's too long on either side. So what I'm going to do is take the ends of the tablecloth and I'm going to tie them together into a knot. Just a basic knot, and then I'm going to fold it under. I'll put the knot right underneath, and now it can drape nicely. So I'm going to do that on this side, and then I'm going to hurry over here and do the exact same thing on this side. Again, I'm just going to take either end of my tablecloth. I'm going to tie it into a knot, and then I'm going to take the knot and tuck it under so you can't see it. So now we've got a tablecloth that looks like it was always meant for this table. I love candles. I have amassed more than my fair share over the years. I love a magical smelling home. Storing these candles, however, can be kind of a challenge. I put them inside of my cabinets, but I'm always worried about them coming out when I open up the cabinet door, and then when you stack them on each other, you just don't want them to fall over. So what we're going to do is store them in a divided mesh storage organizer. This organizer has dividers so you can fit your candles in between the slots. You can organize your candles by size, by color, by scent. I'm going to start off by putting my smaller ones in the front. Then I place larger ones in the center and towards the back. Once I had all of my candles positioned in between the slots, I grabbed my candle warmer and placed that in the back slot. Isn't this a great way to store your candles? Now I can just pick up this organizer, take it over to my cabinet, and slide it right back onto the shelf. Now I know when I open the door that those candles are not going to come toppling out. They're secure in this mesh organizer. And it's also very convenient because these candles are organized. It's best if you store your tall candles upright, but that's kind of a challenge because who can really like stack those up anywhere? Well, guess what we're going to use for our candle organization? We're going to use our cardboard paper towel roller center. I'm going to grab my tall candles and slide them inside of this center. I can fit 3 of the tall candlesticks into one cardboard tube. The cardboard will protect the candles, but it also stabilizes them so you can store them upright. That way they don't get broken. And if you had enough clearance in your shelves, you could actually place these inside of that mesh organizer, and that way all your candles would be located in one place. Now, I am no barber, but I do trim my husband and the twin boys' hair on a regular basis. Now, my problem with my clippers is I never know if they really are clean. I have that little brush and I clean out the hair with the little brush, but is it really clean? Well, let me show you what I do. I don't do it every time, but I do this often. What I'm gonna do is get a bowl and I'm gonna fill it up with water. I take my clippers, place the blade in the water, and then turn it on. The blade will vibrate and release all of the excess hair. I'm always amazed at what comes out of these clippers. I think I clean it pretty well, but clearly I don't. This is a good hack to do every now and again because I know that removing all the hair will keep the blades sharp over a long period of time. If you use clippers and you want them super clean, give this hack a try. I cannot tell you how many times I've been in a hurry, but all of a sudden the kids get hungry. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what can I make for them in a hurry? Well, let me show you how to make a quick quesadilla. What I'm gonna do is get out a tortilla. I'm going to add cheddar cheese and mozzarella to one side of the tortilla. Then I'm going to fold it in half and then in half one more time to create a triangle. Then I simply take my quesadilla and pop it in the toaster. It only needs to be in there for the same amount of time as you toast a piece of toast or a bagel. So once it pops out, you can see that that tortilla is nice and crispy, which is so much better than popping it in the microwave. If you put it in the microwave, you know it's gonna get soggy and wet. So putting it in the toaster will keep that tortilla nice and crunchy, and you can see that the cheese is melty, and it's done in a matter of minutes. Plus, you can make multiple quesadillas at a time. So if you're pressed for time, this is a great way to give your kiddos or yourself a quick, tasty snack. Here's another kitchen hack that I use quite frequently, and it is to use an apple slicer on my potatoes. After the potatoes have been peeled, I just grab my apple slicer and cut the potatoes that way. It goes so quick and it's so easy. If you're in a hurry and need your potatoes to cook fast, cutting them up into smaller pieces as opposed to leaving them whole makes the cooking process go by so much faster. I'm actually cutting mine up to make mashed potatoes right now, but you could leave them in those wedges, put them on a baking sheet, add some olive oil and seasoning, and you would have some yummy potato wedges. They are the perfect size for that. So using the apple slicer to cut your potatoes is very convenient and effective. There are a few hacks that I use to prevent my pot from boiling over, and the first is an oldie but a goodie. It's the wood spoon. Just take a wood spoon and place it over the top of your pot. The wooden spoon breaks up the surface tension of the boiling liquid, which helps to release some of the trapped bubbles that cause the liquid to boil over. Another one of my new favorite hacks is to get an ice cube and just pop it in the boiling water. The ice cube lowers the temperature. The sudden drop in temperature causes a temporary decrease in the intensity of the boiling, reducing the likelihood that it's going to boil over. So if you are cooking and you have multiple pots out on your stovetop and you're having a hard time babysitting all of them, just keep a cup of ice cubes right next to you. So when one's looking dangerously close to boiling over, just grab an ice cube, throw it in the pot, and it will immediately reduce the bubbles. I love burning candles in my home. I love the scent. I love the ambiance of the flicker flame. I just love everything about candles. But they do require a bit of maintenance, so here's a few tips that are going to help you to keep your candles top-notch. Now, what you're going to want to do before blowing them out is make sure that all the wax on the surface has melted. There's a couple reasons for this. Allowing the surface wax to melt and pool evenly across the candle helps prevent tunneling, where the wax melts only in the center and leaves the wax along the edges. Tunneling can waste wax and prevent the actual burn time of the candle. So you can see on this one, can you see how it's tunneled? I didn't wait long enough. I didn't make sure that everything had been melted. I burned it out too prematurely, and so now I've got these little indents. You don't want those, because eventually what's going to happen is the wax is going to crawl up on the side, and wax actually does have a memory, which causes the candles to continue to burn unevenly in subsequent uses. Another thing that we're going to want to make sure that we do is trim the wicks. Trimming the wicks is so important. You want to keep it at about 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch. I use scissors, but there's actually wick trimming cutters that you can get. So why trim the wicks? Well, if you don't, the longer wicks can create soot. Have you ever seen a candle and there's like black soot all around the outside of the jar? Well, trimming it down will help prevent this. Also, if you have a super long wick, you're going to have a larger flame, which can be dangerous. So you want to make sure that your flames are as small as they can be so that you don't have excess fire coming out of your candle. Trimming the wick also minimizes smoking, which ensures a cleaner and more pleasant experience when burning the candle. By regularly trimming the wicks of your candle, you can extend the burn time and maintain a safer and more enjoyable candle burning experience. Does your brown sugar ever dry up and clump? Sometimes that happens to me. Well, let me show you a way that you can prevent this from happening. What I'm going to do is get a piece of bread. Now, I'm going to use the heel piece because that's a hard sell in our house anyways. Nobody wants the heel piece. So I'm going to grab the heel piece and put it inside of my brown sugar bag. The reasons why the bread works is because bread contains moisture. So when you place the bread inside of an airtight container or a bag like this, it releases that moisture into the sugar. This additional moisture helps prevent the sugar from hardening by creating a slightly humid environment inside the bag or container. You can also use some marshmallows. I just grabbed a handful of the mini marshmallows. You can throw in a couple of large ones too. Once the marshmallows were inside the bag, I just closed it back up. The marshmallows do the exact same thing as the bread does. I've heard of one more way to keep your brown sugar soft, and that's to put in some apple slices. I'm not brave enough to try that one out, but if you've tried it and it's worked for you, leave me a comment and let me know. I would love to know if it actually worked or not. So these are a couple different ways to help you to keep your brown sugar nice and soft. I cannot tell you how many times I've started the baking process and realized that I have not yet pulled out my butter for it to get soft. So here is a way to get perfectly softened butter in a jiffy. What you're going to want to do is get a microwave safe container. I'm using a glass measuring cup. I'm filling it up with water, putting it in my microwave and setting the timer for 1 minute. Once the 1 minute was up, I pulled my container out, and now we're just going to dump this water into the sink. Now I'm going to take my hot measuring cup and place it over the top of my stick of butter. The heat from the container creates the perfect environment for your butter to soften. It only takes a few minutes, and now I have the perfect stick of softened butter. Carabiner hooks are one of those versatile items that you can use in a variety of different ways, and you can pick them up at the Dollar Tree, which is where I got mine. What I'm going to do with my carabiner hook is it's going to make sure that my suitcase stays zipped. Have you ever been nervous that your suitcase will come unzipped while you're traveling? Well, what we're going to do is take this carabiner hook and we are going to thread it through the center of the zippers when they were placed together. Now if the zippers get jiggled around, they will stay together and the suitcase will remain closed. If you don't have a suitcase where the zippers come together like that, what you can do is get a metal binder ring. I purchased mine at the Dollar Tree, and what I did with this binder ring was thread it through the holes on the zipper pulls. Combining the zipper pulls and securing them together again will make sure that your suitcase or carry-on remains closed. We have a whole bunch of backpacks at our house too, and they get stuffed to overflowing. And so what you can do to make sure the zippers stay closed on these backpacks is to get a shower curtain ring. Once again, this shower curtain ring is from the Dollar Tree. And all I did was put the shower curtain ring through the zipper pulls to secure them together. Now that full backpack will not open and spill its contents all over the place. Utilizing the carabiner hook, the binder ring, and the shower curtain ring to secure the zippers together is a fantastic way to keep your mind at ease, knowing that the valuables in your suitcase will remain inside, and all of these items were from the Dollar Tree, which makes them affordable. Have you ever been traveling and got to your final destination, you opened your bag and you saw that all the liquids had seeped out and got all over your valuables? That's happened to me. So this is a hack that will prevent that from happening. What you're gonna wanna do is get a balloon and cut off the end of this balloon. Now you can take the top portion of the balloon and place it over the lid of your bottled soaps or liquids. This balloon is on there really tight, so if by chance the lid somehow gets opened, the liquid will not spill over your belongings when you travel. I love using parchment paper when I cook because it makes cleanup a breeze, but sometimes I have a hard time getting that parchment paper to lay flat on my baking sheet. So what we're gonna do is place a large piece of parchment paper over the back side of my baking pan. I pressed along the edges, I flipped my pan back over, and I cut the corners on the parchment paper. Now it fits perfectly inside the pan. At this point, if your parchment paper still lifts up a little bit off the pan, what you can do is just get a little bit of water and add that to the bottom of the pan. Spread it out a little bit and then place the parchment paper over the water. The water will make that parchment paper stick to the pan. It will not slide around, and you can add your food to the pan and cook it right up. I can't tell you how many times I've had either my parchment paper, my aluminum foil, or my saran wrap inside of my drawer, and I go to open the drawer, but the lid has opened while it's been in there, and trying to open the drawer is a nightmare. Well, guess what? On these boxes, there is a little slit, a little cut, so that you can close your parchment paper, your aluminum foil, or your saran wrap, and it will now be stuck inside of these little slits, which will prevent it from opening up while it's inside of the drawer. So take advantage of those slits. This will keep that lid closed. I have a super cute way that you can either store or display some snacks for fall. And we are going to be using something that we've used a few times before, and it is my pumpkin soup tureen. I've used this soup tureen for flower arrangements. It's been a great vessel for those pretty little fall arrangements. And because I bought a couple of these soup tureens, we can use one in a different way today. We're gonna use this to store some little individual packs of cookies. So I'm just going to fill up these little cookies inside of my pumpkin tureen. Not only is this perfect for soup and flower arrangements, but you could use this as a cookie jar or put any kind of snack inside, especially during the fall time. You could display this pumpkin tureen on a cute little dessert table or just on your kitchen counter. You'd be able to have a yummy, accessible treat for all of your guests. If you're on the go and you need to have some snacks easily accessible, you can just grab one of these mesh organizers and put some snacks inside there. I have this fabulous mesh organizer and it has 7 slots in it, so I can put a whole bunch of snacks inside. I have some drink pouches and I've also got some peanut butter crackers, and I put the drink pouches and the peanut butter crackers in each individual slot. Once everything was filled up, I could just pick this up and I can transport this anywhere I want to. This is especially great if you're on the go and you need to take some snacks in the car. If you're taking the kiddos to the park or to a friend's house, this is a great way to quickly grab a snack or just pick up the whole thing and take it with you. And because there are individual slots, there will be no fighting because the kids will know that everybody gets the same amount of food and everybody gets the same thing. And these snacks are secured tightly into this mesh organizer, so you don't need to worry about anything falling out. So if you're on the go, a mesh organizer is a great way to organize some snacks. We're gonna go back to the shaving cream and I'm gonna show you how to use it to clean once again. You guys, I'm getting a kick out of how many ways I can use this shaving cream. Well, the bathroom right off the kitchen is a very frequented bathroom, and there are always splatters from people washing their hands that is all over the mirror. When those water splatters dry, they get really hard to remove. So we're gonna do that with this shaving cream. So I just squirted it all over the surface of the mirror, and then I rubbed it around and let it sit for a few minutes. Then I took a soft rag and wiped off the shaving cream. Then I got a wet rag to make sure that the shaving cream was sufficiently removed, and then I dried the mirror. Look at how sparkling clean this mirror is. You cannot see one single water droplet. Everything has been sufficiently removed, and it is shiny and clean. And also, this shaving cream works as an anti-fog agent. So if you've got some people in your household that love to linger in the shower and your bathroom turns into a sauna, well, the shaving cream will help to keep your mirror from getting all fogged up. The shaving cream came to the rescue again and shined up my mirror spick and span. I love using drawer dividers to help organize my silverware and my cooking utensils, but it can also help me organize some more snacks. We just have snacks on the brain today. So in this drawer right here, I usually keep a couple of little snacks for the kiddos, but it's always like sliding around. You pull that drawer open and they just kind of fly everywhere. All I need to do is just lift up the center of this drawer divider, adjust it to the size I need, and then pop the knob back into place. And the drawer divider is snug. I took a whole bunch of Rice Krispie treats, stacked those up nice and orderly. Then I grabbed some granola bars, put those off to the side of the Rice Krispie treats, and then finished off my snack drawer with some chocolate covered raisins. Now every time I open and shut this drawer, these snacks are not gonna go flying anywhere, and the kids can just grab what they want and then shut the drawer as hard as they want, and those snacks are gonna stay in place. So for me, this drawer organizer works great for my snack organization. All right, you guys, we have just one more use for the shaving cream. I just love using this stuff. And I thought, you know what, if this works great to clean my carpets, let's try it out on the grout lines on my tile. My grout lines get dirty all of the time. If you have tile and grout, you know what I'm talking about, especially in these high trafficked areas. So what I did was I squirted this shaving cream right onto the grout lines. I scrubbed it for about a minute or so, and then I let the shaving cream sit for about 10 minutes. Then I got a damp rag and wiped the shaving cream off of the tile and grout lines. You can see a big difference between where I had the shaving cream and where I did not. The grout lines are so much cleaner. It's amazing. I can't believe this shaving cream worked in so many different ways throughout my house. And this was $1.99, and I still have like half of a can left. So I didn't even use that much. So if you need a very cheap, all-purpose cleaning solution, this foaming shaving cream works on a bunch of areas of my home, and I know it will work for you too. Stackable storage bins are also a fabulous way to help you to organize all of your crafting supplies, your ribbons, all kinds of items. I have these stackable storage bins, and I can create any configuration that I like. I can stack them on top of each other. You can place them side by side. There's also wheels on the bottom of these, so I can push them from one area to the next. These would be especially great if you had them inside of a pantry and you needed to pull them out so that you can access your food. I also love the clear doors on these, so you can actually see what's inside of each of the bins. And believe it or not, you guys, I have a whole bunch of spray paint. I know, it's hard to believe, and the majority of it is white and gold, but I need a place to store all of these cans of spray paint, and this cute little storage bin is fabulous for this because I can put it inside and I can see exactly which paint I need and access it easily. I can organize all my craft items in these bins. I can organize scrap paper and ribbon and additional paint and pens. They help me to keep all of my creative essentials organized. We're gonna get a pot of boiling water and add some pasta to it. Now, after I do this, I immediately grab my spoon and start stirring because I don't want that pasta to clump and settle at the bottom. So you've got to keep that water in the pasta moving. Well, let me show you a hack that's gonna do it for you. What you do is you move your pan halfway off the burner. This helps move the pasta around without stirring because the temperature difference between the center of the pan and the edge creates a gentle circular motion inside the pan. The movement helps this pasta to cook evenly and prevents it from sticking to the bottom. So instead of standing there stirring for 5 to 8 minutes, you can set a timer instead of babysitting this boiling pot of noodles. If you need a magic helper to help you boil your noodles, just move that pot halfway off the burner and it will do it for you. Oftentimes I overlook how useful a washing machine can be in helping you keep your home clean. Some of the items that you can put in there you don't really think about or you didn't know you could actually wash. Now, of course, I love to wash my oven mitts, my pot holders, and my placemats, but did you also know that you can wash your yoga mat in the washing machine? I did not know I could do that. What you do is you just place it inside of your washing machine, set it to a gentle cycle, and when it's done, pull it out and let it air dry. My mats definitely need to be washed. So you can wash that in a washing machine. You can also wash some sneakers. Typically I take the laces out and I put it inside of a mesh bag or a pillowcase. You can wash stuffed animals. Stuffed animals can get a lot of love, but they can also get really dirty and sticky and they need to be washed. So again, I either place them inside of a mesh bag or a pillowcase. You can wash your shower curtain, whether it's fabric or vinyl. You can put it in the washing machine. Again, set it for a gentle cycle and let that washing machine wash off your shower curtain. If you have a small, thin rug, you can wash that in the washing machine as well. And also backpacks. Those backpacks can get really dirty. They go to school every day. Who knows what's on them? So toss those in the washing machine too and get those nice and clean. Before you do wash these, make sure that you check the manufacturer's label just to make sure that you can wash them. Hopefully one of these items that I just mentioned will get the wheels turning in your mind of what you can actually wash in the washing machine. Well, you guys, we did so many home hacks today, and each one of these were so easy, affordable. They can help you to live beautifully by simplifying your life. If you have a home hack that you love, that works for you, I would love to learn about it, so leave me a comment and let me know. If you liked this video and want to see more like it, I would love to have you subscribe so I can share those with you. Thank you so much for watching.